Microphone is fucking up again. Just a second, please. It would appear my microphone, at least the app I use to modify my voice and play sound effects, is currently not working. Just a moment, I'll fix it and we'll start proper. There we go. It's working now. Hello and welcome, whoever you are, whenever you're watching for, or whenever you're watching, to our daily Limbus Company Mirror Dungeon run, side study, and book reading. I already see Acidic Trauma over there. Hello there. How are you doing? In any case, today, as you already see by the title of the stream and by the fact that I've been on the screen for a bit now, we are going to be looking at the Twinhook Pirates first mate Gregor for today's 5-floor mirror dungeon, and as well we're going to be reading the second part of Gregor's book, The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Just as a reminder of the rules of the stream, rules of what we're going to do here today. We are going to be playing this with only this ID. If necessary, I will bring support. It's not like a challenge, solo run challenge or anything. Hello there, Killy. How are you doing? Isn't that like a challenge or anything? There's no achievement attached to this. I just want to put the ID through 5 floors of the dungeon, see how it ticks, all that. For every combat node that we defeat in the dungeon, we are going to be reading a book, a page of the book. So consider this that we're looting the pages off the enemies rather than just completing a normal mirror dungeon. All right, walk 2 miles to the library. Nice. Walking is good. I need to go back to the gym. Certain economical factors here in my residence has prevented me from renewing this month's gym subscription, so I'm kind of just staying at home for now. But it is what it is. Money's tight everywhere, and it's not gonna get any better. It's gonna get worse before it gets any better. In any case, let's get started. Let me just seat myself more comfortably here. Here we go. Twinhook Pirates First Mate, the only Twinhook Pirates ID currently in game. It possesses 203 HP, 3 to 7 speed, 57 defense level. He is fatal to blunt and resistant against slash. He possesses the sin of sloth, pride, gloom with a gloom evade. But judging by his low defense level, I am assuming this is going to be a DPS unit. We are going to find out soon. Let's check out its passive skill first. Bullets are pricey. It is a true pride owned passive. Always active, begin encounters with 7 bullets, 7 ammo. On heads hit against enemies that have bleed, gains unjust enrichment. What is unjust enrichment? Gain on heads hit against targets that have bleed, the maximum of 4. When bullets are priced, passive activates, consume all unjust enrichment stack to deal bonus damage. If a coin that uses ammo's hits, consume all unjust enrichment and deal 25 times the unjust enrichment consumed percentage of damage as a bonus damage. So we can do double damage with our bullet if we have 4. If we have 4 unjust enrichment. Got it. If this unit critically hits when out of ammo, consume all unjust enrichment and deal 5 times unjust enrichment consume percent damage as bonus damage. So this can still work outside of having bullets. So let me write that down. For gain stack of UA unjust enrichment on head hit versus bleed. Max 4. Pick up some manga while I was there for books total. I forgot to get Dante's Inferno. No, Dante's Inferno is a classic, and it's one of the books we are going to read on stream. I am focusing right now on shorter books so that I can practice my reading on stream to see if it gets any better. I think as per our last reading of the Metamorphosis, it was pretty good. So we'll see if I can keep improving. In any case, his passive is pretty easy to activate. It is literally just true pride. It's cheap as hell. He has pride on his skill true, so it's not going to be a problem to activate it. It's fairly simple. Just hit enemies that have bleed and you gain the stacks that you need. And on the 4th stack, you should be using your ammo. Right, moving on to his skill 1. Skill 1, it's a 4 base power with 3 coin power, sporting 2 coins and 62 offense level. 433 is our classic case of 11. No, it's not an 11 roller. Hold on. 433, that's a 10 roller. Got it. Okay. 10 roller base. It's still kind of below the average of skill 1s that we have seen, but then again, this is a season 3 ID, so they're still getting their mitts on how to develop the IDs the way they're developing right now for the newest IDs. On use, he gains poise, and if the target has 7 bleed power, we gain another coin power, making this a 4/4/4, making it a 12 roller. So let me mark that down. S1 plus 1 coin power. If target 7 plus bleed. On hit, he gains poise. On a critical, he inflicts bleed potency up to 4. Only on critical hit. Interesting. Unilateral Business is a skill true, a pride pierce with 4 base power, 6 coin power, and 2 coins. It has a 63 offense level, a 6/6/12, making it a 16 roller, which is baseline skill true for everyone else, I do believe. Yep, baseline skill true, it's 16. Coin power plus 1 for every 7 bleed on target to a maximum of 2. So same deal as before on our skill 1. But it can scale 2 times now, capping out at 14 bleed potency on target. Okay, max 2, noted. On the use, he gains poise count. On hit, he gains poise, normal poise. On crit, he inflicts bleed. On hit, he inflicts bleed. On crit, he inflicts bleed. And he deals extra damage on a critical hit on the 2nd coin of his attack. Alright, as you can see, by using his 2 first skills, you gain poise. Poise count, specifically. No. First one is poise, the second one is poise count. As a reminder, poise count is the number of times you can critically hit, while poise potency is the odds of critically hitting. So basically on use with this ability, we have three critical rolls ready to go. What we do not have any critical chance, which we gain by the first one and by hitting with the first coin as well. So skill 2 gives us 3 criticals, and how much was it? I don't remember. I think it was 5% chance for a critical per point, since it goes up to 20. So it's giving us a 20% critical chance just by using the skill 2. I know that it's season 3 idea. I love this idea with a burning passion. You can tell I love Gregor as a pirate. I want to attempt to fight. Hello, Pep. How are you doing? Why won't you attempt to fight Rupo again? Also, we got an announcement that Reflect Trials are going to be a returning thing, which is quite interesting. I think I'm going to like it. So I already renamed the first stream for Reflect Trial because I thought it was going to be a one-time thing. And we apparently are going to get more Reflect Trials. Next one is, what's his face? Ricardo. Which is going to be interesting. Anyway, skill 3, Foregone Conclusion. This one is the only skill that is going to use our bullet, which is the important thing that we're going for here. Foregone Conclusion has 5 base power with a 6 coin power featuring 2 coins and 65 offense level. 6/6/12, 17 roller. This is quite low for skill 3, but most skill 3s have some way of, ramping up. On use, he gain 1 poise for every 3 bleed on target, maximum of 10. Gain coin power plus 1 for every 7 poise on self. No longer have we need to check out the bleed on enemy if we have poise. If poise for every 7 poise on self. Max 3. So gaining a plus coin power for every 7 poise on self, it is going to be capping at 21, which is quite high, let's be honest. But with ego gifts, that shouldn't be a problem. With 3 extra coin power, this becomes a 5/9/9, an 18 up to a 23, I believe. Yeah, that 23 roller is pretty decent for skill 3. On critical, he inflicts additional bleed count. And finally, he has the only thing that uses ammo on his kit, which is the second coin of his skill tree, which deals double damage on a critical hit. And on kill, he gains a plus coin boost next turn. And again, one of the very rare plus coin boost buffs we can get. This one is just going to empower every single skill we have with a true additional power, because every single attack of this ID have true coins. So plus true here, and plus true here if you use it again. And remember, when we hit someone that has bleed, we gain unjust enrichment. It caps at 4. And that causes us to do triple damage with our third coin of this skill. Of course, to maximize the skill, we really need 21 poise, which is quite difficult to use. Not that difficult to get, but the problem is we have to keep up our poise count, since we potentially are consuming true poise per skill. Anyway, and finally, we have our defense skill, which is eerily similar to Spice Bush Yiseng. It's a 4 base power with a 10 coin power, 57 defense level, and on evade, he gains 1 points, max 5 per turn. Unlike Yiseng, however, the last 3, he does not have, Yiseng did not have a limit of how much thinking he could apply to the enemy, and here we have a limit of 5 poise, otherwise we would be like 9 poise really easily. In any case, that is our ID. We are going to check out if we can fuel any ego gifts that we can abuse. Let's check it out. Let's see here. My phone crashes every time, so I just really cannot go against Rufu. I forgot how not to use to walk a longer distance, so now I don't feel like getting up. Walking is good, and any exercise is a matter of routine, honestly. We are creatures of habit, so if you don't practice it, if you try to do something that you're not used to, you're gonna, suffer for a little bit. But once you get to use it, it feels really good. I miss going to the gym, but what can you do? Money is tight, and gin is expensive. I'm probably gonna have to whip up some homemade home gin in my home. So, hello there, Moises. How are you doing? All right, we have the sins of sloth, pride, gloom. Let's see what can we fuel. Lust, nope. This requires gluttony. We don't generate gluttony. This one also requires gluttony. We don't generate that. This one, lust, gluttony, and gloom, and pride. We don't generate gluttony, unfortunately. This one also for ego gifts. This one requires choose of everything, so whatever. This one, however, requires 3 gloom and 3 envy, but we only generate gloom. And finally, suddenly one day requires 3 lust and gloom, so we really can't fuel any of our egos by ourselves. So we are going to choose egos that can help us with poise, with bleed, and with bullet, if we have any. Bleed here, however, we don't have much of it. So we have lantern, which is very good for recovering our health. We have Ledgerdane, which is good for paralysis. And gluttony, absolute presence. We don't have gluttony resonance, so our passive here is unusable. But this paralyze is really good, so I'm taking that instead of suddenly one day. Although suddenly one day does give us some low health regeneration and protection once activated. It's really is the choice between having a AoE paralyze and a protection and health regen, but we're gonna have lantern because it regenerates health, unlike Pygone Days, which is and it's not as good. Of course, we're gonna take Unbrilliant Glory. Guardian of Thorns has healing on you true allies with the lowest HP percentage for 18% of their max HP, highest resonance of true allies. We do have a healing with Guardian of Thorns, which is always nice. It is an AoE, but it requires true of every resource. Unlike Brilliant Glory, that gives us like a bunch of stuff, if I recall correctly. It gives us like sanity heal, it gives us protection, aggro, which doesn't matter because you're the only unit, offense level up. We can recover from 1 staggered if you have Menace Scabbard at 40 plus. But it's not a good. We're gonna take the healing, honestly. And we only have the option for he now. It's Christmas Nightmare, Soul and Lament, or AD. Ego version of his mem. Then AD is for Shard, and Christmas Nightmare is for flicking offensive defense level down for enemies that are staggered, low morale, panic state. And I think we go with Christmas Nightmare is another good AoE, and we're not doing syncing to use Solid Element that much. A 0 plus XCP reduces coin 5 times per heal. At 0 plus SP, so on positive SP, oh yeah, it's consuming our sanity. I mean, it's good. It's good for damage, and it has an AoE, and I probably should threat spin it, honestly. Yeah, sure. It gains a coin power. Oh, they do. They still do game borrowing on libraries. That's interesting. Right. This is good for damage only, but I'd rather have the AoE heal. No, wait. This I don't have a lot. Gregor has a lot of AoE, don't he? It's like sinking, it's like power down the enemy. Heals as well. Oh, everything heals for him. We have 2 healing already. We're gonna take Solid Element. It's bullet. All right. Yes, I have 100 shred. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I still am working on uptying every single eagle to tier. Hold on, I'm still working on uptying every eagle to tier 4. I only have these ones left that I need to uptie. I'm just gonna sit my ass down at some point and actually do it because, you know, I'm a completionist, so I want to get everything maxed out. Anyway, that is Twinhook's pirate. We have reviewed him. We select some eagles for him. Let's make a team to use this boy. So we inflict bleed. So we are bleed unit with poise and ammo. Starting with Yiseng as usual. Now we have bleed, poise, and ammo. We do have our skill tree is powered up by having lots of poise. So I'm thinking that we should focus on our ability to inflict to gain poise. Let's see. We could take the ring point list for sanity regeneration, which isn't an issue usually, but we also could take the blade lineage salsa, which I believe is more poise count from skills. I'll take poise count for skills. We do need poise count a lot. Moving on to Faust, let's see what Faust can do to help us. Again, we are bleed, poise, and a bullet ID. We do have Wuthering Heights Butler, which is just sanity heal for sinking, and so it's not usable. Blade Lineage Salsu Faust offers us more damage on a critical hit with a slash. And if memory does not fail me, we are pure pierce, so does not help us. We don't have lust, otherwise we'll take She Association, and She Association requires a 4 lust resonance. There is the one who grips for sanity, but again requires lust resonance that we don't have. We have evade. I guess I'm going with base Faust, honestly. Base Faust is actually pretty good because offense level down, true offense level down with no limit, only being a 25% chance, is pretty damn nice. Moving on to Dawn. Dawn possesses a Pierce power-up on her base, but it is 5 owned Lust. So 10% more damage with Pierce, which is our damage type, would be very nice. Let's check if there's anything else we can use. This one, the speed of all allies is faster than the speed of all enemies. The fastest ally do more damage based on the speed difference between itself and its low enemies. Plus 3% for every point of speed difference, max of 15%. We don't gain haste naturally, although there are plenty of ways to gain haste to the Eagle Mirror Dungeon, but this requires a tree Pride Resonance, and Pride is our skill tree, so we're not triggering that very often. I'd rather just have the 10% bonus damage. Blade in the Salsu. If the ally that has least poise gains 2 more poise potency when gaining poise potency using its own skill with coin effects, max 2 times, and applies. This one is actually pretty good. No, I'm gonna take Blade Lineage Salsu. These 2 here are gonna offer us excellent support to keep our poise up and high, so we can power up our skill tree for that delicious triple damage and extra 3 coin power. Ryoshu, how can you help us? You do have Encore Contempt, which allows us to have bleed, but it is on a lust resonance, unfortunately. For poise, we do have Edgar Family Chief Butler, which, when it has played last, wins a clash game once plus quiet, and gains 1 haste next turn. Ooh, that's pretty good. Poise count is important for us. We can also take the Kurokomo clan Wakashu for additional bleed. Again, we're gonna have to generate this resource. We don't have it naturally, but so far, all of these just require pride. I guess I'll go with the count. We do need some bleed application because a lot of our stuff need bleed as well. Hello, Angelic Intelligence. It has been a while. Welcome back. How are you doing, my friend? The Ring Fov student. Rely with the fast speed on hit and defensive down for enemy 2 times negative coin effect on target. That is pretty damn good, but it's true lust that we don't generate. Let's put it on there for now. The Priest of Elemental Land is just for hard blood. This one is for resonance that we don't use, so I'm not even gonna bother. What's the Thumb East Capo again? I do believe it's something related to bullets. Let's see. When an ally with a fast speed uses a skill that spends ammo, if their speed is faster than the target by 3 or more, deal the speed difference times 3% more damage, maximum 15. This effect does not activate the effect unit lack the ammo buff entirely. However, it will only activate if they have the ammo buff, even if they have 0 rounds left. It is extra damage for a skill tree, and I do believe we can generate that. So yeah, it's 3 sloth. We can generate that. Hi, good to see you. Been doing good. Just had to prioritize the run stuff for a bit. We're using the parts today. Indeed. I'm trying to stabilize how we're gonna do IDs in these runs, besides achievements, by order of release. So last time was the Technology Liberation Alliance, and now it's the Pirate. Yar. Other options that we have here. I think the bullet one's pretty good because we're trying to focus on our skill tree a lot. Critical slash skills. Yeah, I think there's no choice here but the Thumb East Capo, honestly. Unless the Think Association is offering us something really good, but I think it's for against haste on the Pride Resonance. Alright, moving on. Honglu has the Post Office Representative, which an enemy that has most ammo deals 30% more damage is skill to spend ammo. Does not activate when out of ammo. That's more damage on our skill tree. Pretty damn good. That's pretty damn nice. We're gonna go with that. More damage on our bullets here, so pretty damn nice. Although we do have a Ryoshu that messes around with bullets as well, which is one ally with the least ammo uses skill to spend ammo, gain 3 poise once per turn, does not apply to allies without ammo. If one ally with the least ammo uses up their last ammo with a coin, deals 50% of damage dealt by coin attack. Each target has a bonus damage against each individual target, rounded up. It is more damage on the last bullet, and we gain more poise, but only when we use our skill tree. Unlike Edgar Family Chief Butler, which gives us more poise count and more haste, I think this one is actually better. Although I am giving up some damage by not taking LCCB Assistant. Deals 50% more damage and we gain 3 poise. We're not getting a lot of count here, I believe. Actually, let's take the bullet. These 3 are gonna be fortifying our bullet shooting. Heathcliff, how can you help us? We are poise and we are bullet. We do have the full stop office fixer. Let's see how you do for us. One ally that has the least ammo gains 2 poise count when using a skill to consume ammo. If the said ally was a full stop office identity, if they have less than 5 poise count, he gains 4 poise count instead. It is additional poise count on using a bullet, so our skill tree is going to be very, very important for us. Right now, we are mostly focusing on our bullet and our poise. We are neglecting our bleed application, which we do require to increase the power of our skill 1 and skill 2. Let's see if we can correct that with the following 4 IDs. I don't think we will be able to, but it would be good if we can. Let's see. LCB Assistant Manager does guard skill power, so no good here. Tell me hierarchy, Kurokomo Clapting. It's a resonance, can't use it. 4th pack Reindeer. More blunt damage. Lobotomy, Ego Sloshing is Tremor Burst, inflicts Rupture. Leo Association is about Burn. Yeah. Molar Boatworks. When I was always max HP, hit coin, inflict one sticking wing, inflicting tremor count on their target, can't use it. Pick what captain looks like it's going to be the to go. One element that has speaking true poison count when target is defeated after that unit attack. It's on a resonance, so it's not that good. Is there a bullet rupture hybrid ID? Yes, yes there is. Yes there is. LCCB Assistant Manager Ishmael. She inflicts a fuck ton of rupture, a fuck ton of rupture count, and a fuck ton of fragile at the cost of 3 bullets. It's an oldie, but you have seen the stream where we use the LCCB. They do horrific amounts of debuffs on their enemies. And despite all of them being true zeros, they are actually pretty good. Right, I'm not seeing too many options for Ishmael here other than Pequot Captain, but it's only on a Pride Resonance that we do need to keep our bullets. So it's just an extra, really. Jong Office does offer a Sloth and Gloom. And we don't have Sanity Heal, so we're gonna go with that. Right, Sanity Heal it is. As for Rhodia, you have the Kurokomo Clan Wakashu, which I believe more slash damage. Assistant Manager, more damage against guards. Facial Pack Sea Branch. What do you do again? You are 5 splitting 6 corruption to damage any fixed offense step down. This is not like start 1 per turn. This is pretty damn nice. Ring Fulvus Docent is Lust Resonance, yeah. And what else? I don't think there's many options here for Rhodia to support us. We do have the Zwei Associated Self Section 5, but it only works on a Wrath Resonance. That little bit of shield would have been very nice for a solo fight, for solo play, but we don't have Wrath Resonance. And I guess it's gonna be base Rhodia for that extra damage. As for Sinclair, we probably know what it is. N-Corp. N-Corp is, I believe, only for Fanatics, and we are not a Fanatic, I am fairly sure. After enemies defeated, apply 1 haste and 1 damage up next turn to ally with the most SP. Actually, that's pretty good. Damage, it's 10% damage up, and only if you get a kill. And it only activates once per turn, compared to her base, which is 20% more damage with heads coins. That's with the same resource. This one is just plain better. You know what it is for Sinclair. It's probably going to wear the costume again, but let's give it a fair shot to other IDs. Let's check out this one. One ally with the fast speed, he kills 5 speed when and gains 5 shield when starting combat with a defense skill equipped. A little bit finicky. I wouldn't say no to that shield, honestly, but it's on a Pride Resonance. And I wanted to avoid Pride Resonance as much as possible because it uses a bullet and we only have a limited amount of bullets. Burn, this one here is Resonance, so no good. Blade Lineage Salsu does provide with another Resonance, yeah. Zwei Association is a damage reduction, which is pretty nice, but I prefer to have more damage since we are a damage unit. And we have an evade, so we're going to be doing pretty damn good. No, as long as we don't have any power up for the enemies, we'll do good. True defense level up. No. Yeah, it's going to be the costume. Sorry, Sinclair. Get in the costume again. Last but certainly not least, Otis. Otis, how will you help us? We have the ever-reliable bonus here. Random buffs, attack, defense, and protection at random, which is always very nice. But we also have the Blade Lineage Salsu, which gives us more damage against enemies with 25% less HP, which I am strongly considering taking for the sole reason that if we get a kill with our skill tree, which is most likely going to do a lot of damage, we gain a plus coin power boost next turn. So instead of random buffs, we are going to go for the kill finisher here. All right, let us review before we deploy. First and foremost, we have Blade Lineage Salsu, Dawn, and Yiseng providing us buffs for poise acquisition. Every time we use our skill, we gain more poise count and poise potency, which is required to make our skill tree more powerful. We need 21 poise on Cell to gain truly more coin power with our skill tree. Faust is providing random chance to inflict true offense level down on hit with no limits. LCCB Assistant Manager Ryoshu, the Thumb East Capo Merso, and Full Stop Office Heathcliff and Honglu are providing bonuses for poise and bullet usage. Jong's office representative Ishmael is providing us with a nice little sanity heal. Rodia, Base Rodia, Los Mariachi, Shepe, Sinclair, and Blade Leader Salsu Otis are providing us with nice damage bonuses. In the case of Otis, is a conditional to finish up a kill. Very well. I am satisfied with this team. Let us deploy. I fully maxed out the T-Corp recently. Running a Tremor Machine. Eventually, I want to use their team. Alongside the T-Corp and Hong Zero David fuck real. Nice because he has a support assist attack. Assist attacks are nice. Don't diss on assist attacks. All right. We are going to be taking Favor and Starlight Guidance. We are running a solo team here, so we kind of need, you know, some edge. For gifts, we are already hard focusing on poise. We should probably not have any trouble generating poise. And most of our bleed application also comes from critically hitting the enemies, so we are going to for poise gift. I want to get a lot of pierce gifts as well, because I don't have the achievement for ending the dungeon with lots of poise. All right, for our starter gift, since we are running a solo team, we are going to take our usual selection: Phlebotomy, Ashen Constellation Blessing, and Echoes of the Manor. That costs a fair bit of Starlight, but we'll do nice. We'll do good. All right. Where's my water? By the way, we are hitting 88 subscribers on YouTube. Soon we'll be at 100, and I'll have to make a video. And we're gonna start editing the videos for the tabletop as well. All of these suck. Reroll for me. The Forgotten, the Outcast, Nest, Workshop, and Technology. I kind of want to go the Outcast because it has two very good poise gifts, and we also have this, which is fantastic. Yeah, let's go Outcast. Right. As a reminder, we are weak to Blunt, but let's see here. If I take the lower path, I have two more options here, so let's take the lower path. We got this one. Give me the Pierce. I don't have anything to roll good for this, so we're gonna have to gamble. Actually, Gregor has a high chance of that. All right, he's already starting off really well. Thank you, Gregor. That was very nice. You get your first Pierce gift, which is gonna make you very strong. Ah, the illusion of choice. Either get a unfocused encounter or get another unfocused encounter. Ah, Acidic Trauma. I am sorry, but I do like Ryoshu. I like her a lot. You can blame Quentin Tarantino for that. All right, since we are unfortunately on a... Wait a second. Oh, I made a mistake, but it's not a big mistake. I assumed his Pride was skill tree. I didn't check my notes. That's why I was avoiding Pride Resonance. But it don't matter. None of this matters. Unfocused encounter, that means we get a one-sided beating to begin with. So let's get our shit kicked in for a little bit. Yeah. And this is the ID where Gregor sounds like Waluigi. It's really a shame that we didn't get any more Twinhook's IDs, because they would be fun to have. Right, we're only using our skill once we hit that magical number of 21 poise potency. Because 21 means our power is maximum. And I think it's pretty fitting that it's the 21 because he is a pirate. They probably play blackjack a lot. He did run a nightclub. He, whatever. I think Gregor was chosen for this ID specifically because of the hook, man. There has to be no other reason why. Alright, even without gifts that generate poise for us, we are gaining a good amount of it. Ow, 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 ow. We're ready to use our skill tree, but we have only 2 stacks of unjust enrichment. So let's get a few more, shall we? If this follows the order that is established here, which I don't think it will, but we are the fastest unit here. We will get enough unjust enrichment. We're gonna get staggered, actually. Are we? And 1, 2. All right. We have maximum stack of poise for our skill tree. We have 4 unjust, 4 coins. Let's just call it 4 coins. It's easier. This final attack, the final attack of our skill tree should hit for like a truck. Let's see. That's pretty damn nice. I say that's pretty damn nice. That has potential. And now we get staggered, I believe. We got that nice little coin boost power here, which I like it a lot. Stagger us. We are hanging by a thread. You're doing much better than Yiseng was doing, Gregor. Well done. Blast him. Blast him. Bullets are expensive. Let's use it on these goons. Very nice. I do believe he has better coins than Spice Bush Yiseng. I'm not going to go back and check it. But overall, he's doing much better. Of course, we're going to get staggered in this next fight because we're low health, but we already accounted for that. But we actually might have... No, we don't. We don't have an ego generating resources right now. Ego gift that generate ego resources. My apologies. We could use Superbia and, you know, blast them with an AoE. Might have come to that if we get, you know, completely dead at the end of this, but we'll see. Hello, Higno, how are you doing? I see you there. Welcome back, and thanks for the follow, by the way. I see you. Have followed 4 days ago. Thank you. Much appreciated. We can't evade Acidic Shaman. This is an unfocused encounter, and by default, a character in an unfocused encounter will always target the slowest enemy instead of the fastest enemy. So this guy is going to attack us for free, and there is nothing I can do. So it is what it is. Observe. There is nothing we can do. That's why unfocused encounters are the bane of the existence of anyone playing a solo. That was a good one, Angelic. Gregor do be keeping the enemies hooked on to attacking him, huh? And we're about to get staggered again. Ah, this is bad. Yeah, there goes the stagger again. Yeah, this is death for Gregor here. Yep, let's retry. It's really, you just get jumped by 6 burly guys and there's nothing you can do, really. That's the unfocused encounter. If it was focused, we can evade the first attack and we are good to go. We just coast by on just winning the evade. But in this case here, not so much. This here, we just get hit and cry about it. That's why we take Starlight Guidance, not for the clash power, but for the extra protection. And this would have gone even worse if we don't have the... What's it called? Ashen Constellation. Whether the T-Corp Ego Gift can save you from these kinds of problems? Yes, unfortunately, the problem here is that to get the Ego Gift from T-Corp, the Investigator badge, you have to reach the shop first. We are in the very first floor. And the first few fights, you don't get access to upgrading your Ego Gifts. And the T-Corp Investigator badge only goes affect the 3rd deployed unit. Right? Time to recover HP somehow. There are good solos like Manor-Dawn, the last stage of Canto 7, and there's this type of solo. At the main dungeon, we are here to get beaten up a little bit. That's why it's very important to have healing Ego Gifts at the beginning, because even if you get your shit kicked in, as long as you survive to attack and gain your skill slot, you can recover your health. I like phlebotomy because it heals based on percentage rather than something else. And now we actually have enough skill slot to, you know, beat them back. The important thing is to survive. I forgot to put this on. There we go. We have 4 coins. We have 37 points. We're ready to blast some food into the fucking stratosphere now. Just survive, Gregor-kun. Just survive. The only thing that we're gonna have to fidangle a lot with this ID is to keep up our stacks of coins, because you only gain stacks of coins by hitting enemies with bleed. So we are going to need some bleed gift. If we can get the tier 4 bleed gift that applies bleed to enemies at the beginning of the round, that would be fantastic. Because, you know, it's just free bleed and then we don't have to worry too much about it. All right, he survived, and he is... We have true coin power now. Ooh, that is very delicious. Him off, blasting. Ah, didn't get the blasting. All right, we did the true combat notes. Please, I gotta keep track of that. It is the pages that we're going to be reading of the Metamorphosis at the end, which is quite an interesting book, if a little bit infuriating. Of course, we're going to avoid combat for now because we are low health, and I'm not fighting you, brother. I'm not fighting you. I will avert my eyes, but I'm not fighting you right now. Thank you for the perversion. This one, one of the experience. That's kind of trash ego resource generating ego. Let's see. Arrested him. More haste. Oh. This skill inflicts bleed plus counter unique bleed. If the main attack has 7 bleed count, the user more damage. I looked at the spiral with contempt, indeed. Alright, let's sell this because it's garbage. We really don't need it. Give me a refresh. We got Bell of Truth, Venomous Skin. No, give me another one. Paternal Flashlight is really good. It gives us charge barrier to survive a little bit. Talisman Bundle is also pretty good. Devil's Share gives us poise. Okay, we can purchase only 2 of these. Talisman Bundle. I'll go for survivability and bonuses here. Go. Can I enhance any gift? I can enhance this because it gives us offense level up. And remember, offense level up becomes clash power and extra damage. There we go. We got the patrolling flashlight. I forgot to heal Gregor. This might have been a mistake. Maybe. If I have to, I'll use Superbia. But I think we'll be good. I think we're going to be fine. I do believe we're going to be fine. If we're not fine, we have our Dante power up our sleeves. Just pull out the wall eagle right at the start. It's the fucking apple. We can contend with the apple. Just dodge the first attack and we'll be good. I never got to see his actual animations. He's just doing a little stomp that makes a root appear. How kind. Just 2 attacks? I'll just attack you then. Gotta get my HP above the stagger threshold, right? And now we are on equal grounds for clashing. We have slots now. This is when I talk about how guard skills are kind of weak, I'm not talking about clashable counters, clashable guard, or counters. I'm talking about the block skill. The reason why I say they're weak, because compared to evade, which allows you to completely ignore getting hit, and pretty much everything else, honestly, block just gives you a tiny little shield, and that doesn't prevent status effect application. If I had control, I would buff the hell out of guard, give it like a much higher base power, and the ability that as long as if you equip the guard skill, as long as you have shield, you don't receive status ailment. Unless it's like an unavoidable status ailment, you know? Because it really sucks that you're blocking an attack and you're still receiving bleed even though they didn't break through your shield. Those two changes, like a base power up for every block and the ability to mitigate receiving negative effects, would save block and make a lot of IDs a lot more appealing, because you put up a block, it's stronger now, it can actually take some damage, and you don't take like bleed or rupture while you're blocking. The moment they break through your shield, however, then you're just getting hit. You just generally just give up, bro. All right, let's blow his head's move off with our gun. Twice. Oh, I forgot to use it last time. I won't need it. Blow his head's move off. I don't know if every Gregor is afraid of apples or just some mirror world version of Gregor that are afraid of apples. No, every Gregor is afraid of apples, probably. We are going to get into the apple of the question once we get further into the book, because the apple is featured in the book. It's not just a Limbus thing. All right, we can get Nebulizer and we can get Meteorite Force Field, which gives us great survivability. Stone Tomb is nice, and so is Ebony Brooch, but I'd rather have survivability over a bit of Rupture or a bit more Poise, which you are already generating a ton of Poise. If we can go to Be Pierced if we want to die because there are crabs there. There is the Prestige card over here, which is very nice, and Dolly. And we do have Pride. If this is the fuck-ass Gossipian, however, it's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with it, but we dealt with a Gossipian with an evade unit before. We can surely do it again. If you go down here, that is that. So we're going to go up here and take that focus encounter. Let me update how many pages we have collected to 3. And let's continue. We should have gotten a pirate announcer, honestly. A lot of things were left. They were figuring out a lot of shit that we were going forward. And the pirates were one of them. The announcers. Right. We still do not have a way to generate eagle resources that we don't use in our skills. So we can't use any eagles right now, which is kind of bad, but we shall make do. Yeah. Hey, another thing that I'm mad about on focus encounters is that if you have a character with a clashable counter or block, they will automatically clash against the first person that attacked then. But you can't do that with an evade here, because through you, I guess. You know what? I rather skip this turn. I don't want to hit a counter and get hit with a bleed. I'd rather just take one-sided attacks, because there's nothing I can do here. Very early to do, actually, Mission 49. Welcome back, Plushy saying. We got staggered, which is expected. These guys are kind of mean. We took a lot of damage, actually. That's concerning. And that's another staggered. These guys are... Oh yeah, these are Rupture guys. Now that generally just start over. I forgot Rupture is very dangerous when you have only one person that is going to receiving every single Rupture posted to the account. We might have to use Superbia here right off the bat. Because what are you guys weak to? You're weak to everything except Gloom. I do have Gloom, but it's not a very good Gloom. This will hit everyone. This will hit some of them that apply paralysis. I don't think this can stagger then. They're only weak to Gloom. They're normal against everything. Yeah. And mostly because there's a lot of enemies and they don't have the same abilities that we have. You have to always have considered that, especially I say this because I am a GM for the tabletop. Not this time, the current campaign is my friend that is being the GM, but enemies do not follow the same philosophy as players, because the players have their own advantages. The enemies can just do whatever. Ouch. And now we are in problem because we have lots of rupture. We're about to get staggered again. No, we're about to be staggered the first time. We are bleeding. And, well, we are quite in a despicable situation. Here comes the stagger. Ooh. Oh, they deal more damage on an unopposed. Isn't that right? I think I remember something about they dealing more damage on an unopposed attack. They just hit hard. They just hit hard. This was a mistake. Let me check here. Rupture raised power, offensive without paralyzed. Ooh, that's nasty. Look at these. There's Lisa's speed. Yeah, they deal 10% more damage, and they have very evil skills right now. Defense level down, lots of rupture. These guys are no joke. These guys are no joke. And I can't turn one staggered in, which is, you know, annoying. Let's try this. It is gloom, so it's probably dealing extra damage to them. Good, 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 Gregor. I did hear a couple of staggers there. I heard a lot of staggers, actually. Very nice. That might just be what we needed. Of course, they're going to recover now, and we are in dire straits again, but at least we can clash against 3 attacks. We are quite low on sanity, but we'll make do. A kill. Very good. And now comes the one-sided beating, because can't do much about that. Evil last skill. The stagger. Double stagger, but we recover. And now we have to recover our entire HP bar by brawling. Good. I like me kills. Another kill. That's true coin power for us next turn. Bap. Ooh, we're dead. That was a good try. At least we know that we can stagger them with our overclock skill, but we can only use it once. That's the problem. We don't have ego resource generation right now, which is a mistake. We should have taken something to start with. Maybe I will incorporate that in the future. But right now we are in a difficult fight. It's always this earlier fights that are the most difficult, because once you have like enough ego gifts, you are just steamrolling them. I don't think that will stagger all of them. I didn't hear staggers, so we were still in the danger zone. Yep. Ooh. We don't have another AoE to deal with this, so yeah, let's just try again, see if we can get lucky again. Ooh, this is gonna be a rough fight, boys. This is going to be a rough fight. Again, if I lose too much, I'll just call for backup, which breaks the spirit of things, I know, but not gonna get stuck here and end the run or start over again, like I did with the Don Sinclair incident, you know. It is stings a little bit, but what can you do? I can always use this in the second turn when I'm, you know, paralyzed to guarantee our high roll. Because we can survive a single turn, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, let's try that. Because if these guys are able to act on us, we are screwed. Because of the rupture application, that skill tree is very evil. So the first turn, they're already using two of those, so evil just starts now. Start with the first turn normal, and then we'll use our overclock. Nice job, Gregor. You rolled 2 heads in a row. Tails, I mean. This is just the crabs all over again with the rupture. Are we paralyzed? Yes. We are faster. Yes. We should use our skill. No, actually, hold on. We should use our skill in the first slot. I wanted to do Gloom Resonance, but that ain't gonna happen. We have only how much paralysis? 2. And there goes our paralysis, which I was counting on. God damn it. Very nice. There we go. Let's strategize. Get hit, get staggered, recover from the stagger. Let's get some kills in, recover some health. Oh, 7 stacks of rupture. Rupture doesn't decay, right? And back to the fight we go. Good. Ah, that's too much damage that we're taking from rupture. There we go. Ooh, one more time, and then we'll call for backup. So survive the first turn. I'm gonna put the survival one. Hold on. Survive the first turn. Use the ego on the second one, and pray. A rupture bonus damage is so evil, man. Are we paralyzed? No, we're not. Lovely. Right, Superbia. Overclocked to Lament. Alternatively, I could use a Lantern to recover HP and not get staggered again. But this one is for mass damage, so I'm gonna try that strategy next. One stagger. Not ideal. Yeah, there I go. This is an actual full stagger. We are actually dead here. We'll survive the first turn. We use Lantern to try and recover our health and try to brawl it out from there. Because the idea here is that if we manage to stagger a lot of them with our overclock Sullen Lament, we can actually brawl it out a little bit and not die. But that is clearly not happening. Again, just give us the ability to, if you use a block to reduce that of the bide. And there goes our stagger. Like, the idea here is that if I manage to recover my health, I won't get staggered again, but they are going to be applying like a shit ton of rupture to me, which is, again, unideal. So, let's see. I can this time around... No more Rosetas. What am I doing? Why does it never follow the order of operation that I want? It's not gonna stagger them. Yeah, let's bring back up. I'm sorry, but Gregor cannot defeat these guys alone. They stack far too much rupture on a single character because it is an unfocused encounter. We need backup for this one. That stings, doesn't it? It stings a lot. What can you do? What can you do? Sorry, everyone. Gregor has, unfortunately, is not able to fight these guys. So I'm going to consider that a failure on the solo run, but it is what it is. We don't have any ego that will give us protection against their damage types, which is Envy and Wrath, I believe. So let's check here. Hold on. Ego. Memory. Where do I see when it changes our... I don't know. I'm not going to actually use Superbia, but I want to know which one makes us resistant to Wrath, if there is any. Yeah, all of our Eagles makes us fatal to Wrath. That's why we're taking so much damage. And 2 of our Eagles make us resistant to Envy. So yeah, it's quite a bad situation we find ourselves in. Hello, Rio Erkling Hitcliffe. No, I have not seen that person. I never heard anyone with that name. I'm sorry. What a shame. It's unfortunate, but we have to bring back up on this one. Hello, W Corp official on YouTube this time. How are you doing? Bro's tweaking out about a person that doesn't even exist. Live and be. Give him a break. Oh, that hasn't happened yet. That has not happened yet, my friend. It stings a lot when we... this happened the first few times before on the streams, when you bring an idea and you find the characters that are almost specifically tailored to kill you, because not only are we taking double damage from them because of our Wrath weakness, we also taking a shit ton of rupture, so there is literally nothing we can do to reduce our damage. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm not even gonna count that as a page read. A page acquired, but I guess it does count. We're not making a game out of this. I wish I had something to drink right now other than water. All right, let's continue on. Let's remove the selection and go back to solo Twinhook Pirate. Let's pretend that didn't happen. We didn't call in any favors, and yeah. What a strange Monday has been for me. All right, here we go. Dodge away, boy. Oh yeah. Remember, everyone, you have sin resistances on your sinners. You can alter those resistances by using egos. That's what I meant by I couldn't reduce the damage I took by using egos. Because if you click your characters, and this is one of our, you know, least explained, least used things, people just go for the combat, myself included. Your sinners have distinct weaknesses and strengths based on their Zain ego. We are fatal to Wrath, we're fatal to Sloth, but resistant against Gluttony. If we use a different ego, this is going to change our resistances as well. So if you really want to be tanky in this game, it would be having a character that is both physically resistant to the type of damage and have his elemental resistance altered as well. And this is technically just elemental damage. Every attack has an element, and not talking about status effect. Anyway, let's continue on. That was the first attack. I shall dodge it. Actually, dodge with this one, so we can actually generate resources now. So we must avoid Sloth and Wrath with Gregor on the beginning of the combat, unless we change with another eagle. Oh, we're rolling good. Did he compliment us on our dodge? First attack is going to be this one on the middle here, right? We do have some unjust coins, not enough. Anyone else has bleed? No. I gotta regenerate before we can get our superpower up ready. Very nice. Oh, by the way, Abiotic Factor had an update today. It's crossover with Voices of the Void, which is another game I want to play on stream at some point once I actually have the time to do other streams. I wanted to do one today, but real life is busy as always, as ever. Go here. I actually have ability to clash against everybody, so let's share the load. My friend wanted to play Abiotic Factor again, but a different friend this time around. But I don't know if I'm gonna stream that one. I already streamed with my good friend Toy. I haven't edited any of the videos because, again, very busy in real life and I don't have the time to edit videos. Although I will have to make a video for 100 subscribers. Otherwise, it would be very rude and disrespectful to you, my viewers, which I adore. Right? Finish them off, Gregor. Kill them all. Kill them all. Blow his shit's move off. But aside from a little hiccup with the dead rabbits back there, this idea is doing pretty damn good. I like him. He's very fun. He has a very simple gimmick. And similar to other IDs where you're constantly teasing your skill tree to build up power, this one's pretty much on the fun side. All right, we got Carmilla that allows us to have a little leeway when it comes to unfocused encounters. Say we could get both by fighting this guy, but I don't want to fight him. I'm on your side, buddy. Give me your bullets, Eagle. Give me that. Pure skills gain clash power +1. Skill that consumes ammo deals more damage, and in its out of ammo gain 2 more ammo, which is very nice for us. We are bullets. Thank you, based origami chairman. I love this abnormality. I love the way he looks, the aura he has, and I love his gift. Give it to me now. Finally, we have an ego resource generating gift. Thank you. We're gonna take the rest of the muzzle right now because that shit is good. Angel's Cut gives us, it's kind of worthless. Give me a refresh, okay? Voodoo Doll, and we have my favorite combo in the game. One of my favorite combos, which is the Voodoo Doll together with Carmilla. That makes certain encounters less annoying. All right, we can also improve our patrolling flashlight or our bandolier for more damage. I'll go for bandolier. Even if you had better survivability with shields in that previous fight, it wouldn't have mattered, so we're just gonna go with that. Motherfucker, it had to be you, didn't it? God damn it, I'm mad as heck. I hate this abnormality. I like its gift. I hate it because when I'm playing solo. Lots of things I hate in this game that I say out loud here on stream are because I'm doing a solo run. All right, don't be like Isang, Please. He is like he's saying. Just retry, dude. You generally fucked up. Again, if we lose a single evade with this abnormality as a solo, we have infinite bleed and we are dead. And we are doing pierce damage as well, so this is gonna be a long fight. Oh, I'm not lucky today. I made bad choices. God damn it! How are we with bleed? None actually. Interesting. All right. I'll take that. At least we're not fighting this one later into the dungeon, so. Ooh, okay, that was pretty good. Gregor, you're cutting a little close, buddy. Go away, bot. Not talking to you right now. You're cutting a little closer, buddy. That's 2 5% in a row. What's the odds on that, huh? How are we with? We don't have the resources yet. I should attack you one-sided then. All right, keep the stride, keep going, boy. That's right, keep going, keep it going. All right. Okay, we are still have a couple of unclashables on his side. Let's dodge the first one over here. Yep. We can clash against the other ones. We do have full stacks for our big attack. Let's not do another one-sided and stack our evades in case we fail one, because we do have some bleed on us, so I want that gone. Blast him! Not as strong as I expected. Very good, very good. Keep the stride up, keep going. All right, all of these are clashable. Yes, they are. We have 5/5 bleed, unfortunately, but we'll get rid of it so we start clashing. Neutral, dominating, and dominating. Here we go. Blast him! Oh, you got rid of the bleed? Let me put my desk fan on the floor. Did he stagger it? He did. Lost disadvantage. We lost a lot of health there. What happened? Did we lose a clash? I was putting my goddamn. Yeah, we lost a clash. How can you tell? I did lose a clash. God darn it. We're gonna have to restart the fight, aren't we? We don't have enough damage to stagger it, and that is 18 times 37. That is way more than we have HP for, and we don't regenerate enough. It was because a single clash that I was looking away that we lost this fight. We start again and again until we succeed, unless it's a hard counter for us, which unfortunately was that situation back there. But I am still not mad at all at that. Really, I'm not mad at all. Not annoyed at all at that. You hit it. All right, it goes red now. No bleed on us yet. Let's stack, actually. Yeah, let's stack. Gregor, please. Gregor. Might have to start again, because again, it multiplies our bleed by a shit ton because of Gossipium. When the Turkish Gossipium is in red, sustain Gossipium value bleed and bleed count at turn end. That is more HP than he has. That is like 260 HP, and we don't regenerate enough health to cover that amount of bleed. We don't have counters, and we don't have clashable counters, which don't activate bleed. So this is literally get hit once, get killed. It's not that the boss is bad, it's bad for a solo fighter. That's why they chucked that on Kira, remember? On Kanto 9, we used that to fight Kira, but then we had Mafias, we could just one-shot them. But don't get Moses wrong, she had the right idea. This would absolutely fuck up someone that can't dodge and Kira can only counter, so she would bleed to death before she could do anything. If this wasn't an evade unit, we'd be dead. We'd be dead. Simple as that. As simple as that. We'd be 100% dead. It's the same thing with like Dongrang and some other bosses that have gimmicks. Because the moment you start bleeding in this fight, you are done for. Because look at that, our bleed just increased. And until we get rid of it, we are kind of screwed. So let's get rid of it. We don't have any way to also remove Gossipium because it is applied on use from this creature's skills. So we pretty much just have to accept. Oh, God damn it. This one. The most space lead is far from side to have the effect. Ooh, it has to clash that one last, so. Good job, Gregor. You still have bleed, though. Right. I think we have enough for full clashes here. Yes, we do. Yeah, that one has to be the last one to be clashed because of the power-up he gets if the target has bleed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should go by that order. Just need to get rid of the bleed. And you fucked up, Gregor. It's still winnable. It's still winnable. That last clash is a danger because it gains +5 base power if the target has bleed. And somehow it still rolls extremely high. And now Gregor is dead. And this doesn't remove bleed, so it's kind of a useless. The ideal play would be to ring rate. No, it wouldn't be. That is more damage than he has HP for. That's blows. You know, since we're pretty much doomed here, I'll take the win rate plushie thing. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's right. He dies because he has too much bleed. Give it another try. It is winnable. It is just coin toss. 5%. You get hit once and you're screwed. It is indeed unideal in this circumstance. Particular circumstance, win rate is unideal. Because remember, IDs do not use their block skills on win rate. If we had our full Sinner Force here, this boss is a pushover. We unfortunately do not have our full Sinning Force here. right after this turn, we're gonna start gaining 5 bleed. So let's make the most of it. We don't have enough of these. First evade, and clash, and then do a big clash. And now we gain 5 bleed because of the effect of Gossipium. And now this attack has base power +5 and inflicts twice the effect if we lose the clash. So that one has to be the last one to be, you know, clashed against. And we still have to deal with the evade. And pray. Why is this the first one? We are faster than it. Whatever, we won the clash. That's all that matters. So far so good. This one here also has the base power 50 +5 if this is if the enemy has bleed. And we are the only enemy, so we are always the enemy with most bleed. But we can clash against everything now, which should be a walk in the park for us, given that we have a skill tree to go with it. Alright, we got rid of all our bleed. The clash should be easy now, and it's going to stagger it. There we go. Told you the fight was winnable. It's just a little bit of luck involved because of the evade. Again, this fight would not work for anyone that does not have an evade because of the bleed application. There we go. Nice job, Gregor. That's the common note complete and a page collected for our Metamorphosis read along. Give me resource, give me cost. All right, we got prestige card and we got layered bandages, which shall help us when we have bleed, which is very good for solo plays. Next floor, floor 3, we have access to a revival, which is good. We don't have sinking, we have pride, so we can take this one. Yeah, let's go for Vain Pride. I want that revive. Gregor! Ah, the clan. I think we can fight the clan. It gives us a defense level down, pierce, and level 2 gift. Yeah, let's go here. I have done solos against this thing before. It's not that difficult. And we do have some sort of healing. We do have Igor resource generating gift, so we can actually get our healing gift, our healing eagles working. So yeah, let's get it done. Dodge, my boy. Gregor, me boy, dodge. Yar! Yar, the clans are fighting back, me boy. Right, now it's going to summon its little chud friends. And now we are in actual danger because they inflict poison. Let's go here and we go clash against the second. Straight up, if this thing hits us with Paralyze, I'm overclocking an eagle. Ah, here comes the Paralysis next turn. Tasty. Tasty, tasty. Did I have Paralysis? I do not. Interesting. It just did a little bit of sanity damage. Alright, you have 3 unclashables that I can't do anything about it. Got it. That's okay, because I'm just gonna blast you now. I can destroy one of these slimes to avoid getting slimed. Or I can actually destroy 2 of them, but... yeah, let's go with this one. It's not ideal amount of coins, but we'll do. We'll make do. Yummy green slime. The choice that we don't have a choice. All right, Gregor, get your hand in there. Lose some sanity. We'll get it back. Can you clash against that? It's favored. Let's make sure you recover your sanity first. There is a couple of attacks that are coming our way. I don't like those. So clash with this one first. Clash this one second. This one is neutral here. How about we turn this one into a dot? All right. Sanity recover. Good. Sanity recover. Full sanity. Flash win. Yes, baby. And we got an evade. No, we got an evade because we only staggered one part of it. That's what I like. We recover our sanity before we actually do the clashes that we need. All right, buddy. It's time to crack open you. By dodging all of your attacks, I'm going to break your pearl. So here we go. I dodge here. And then we're going to turn that pearl into dust. Green dust. Not ideal damage, but good enough. It's probably gonna kill it before it can do anything. Goodbye. That's what we like to see, Gregor. You got the pearl, me boy. Add it to the booty. I'll be honest, I don't know much about pirate media. I don't have much of a pirate lingo to do a constant accent, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna do some remarks here and there, but not really. Oh god, golly gee, we got ourselves a little bit of a bleed gift here. I like that. Gregor, go get it. Good job, my boy. Get that double bleed application that we know and love. And focus encounter. Let's go. It's the neighbors. Let's dodge in first because we don't have the slots for that yet. Come on, give me poise, boys. It's so sad there's no sound effect. Like whenever you successfully evade an attack, there's no sound effect for the enemy attacks. They're attacking you. They just woof, woof. It's just an empty void of a sound, you know. That's because the only sound effects they have is when they actually hit you. So there's this slash and you know, the meaty sound of hitting you. There's no since you dodge, you don't get hit. You don't even get the, you know, swoosh sound effect. So it just kind of becomes this sad little noiseless void. Let me scratch my nose. Aren't we doing time for another ID announcement? Because Ricardo Cliff is coming to my hand very soon. Next Thursday, I believe, I'm going to have Ricardo Cliff in my hands, which is going to be an extreme run, by the way. So, what is your favorite 00 ID and your favorite 000 ID? Good question. I don't really know. Let me think about it. 00 ID that I like. I am a big fan of Pequod Iseng because of that disrespectful attack that he has, which is the ambush that he keeps repeating over and over on the enemy. I really like it. But I have to go look at the list of IDs. Actually, let me just open another window. I have a browser open, list of Limbus IDs. Because I don't have them all fresh in my mind, but I like the middle, all the middle IDs, they're fun. Let's see. 0-0s. I am also a big fan of I'm gonna focus on 0-0 IDs. I like Ryoshu's 0-0 because it has paralysis on it, and I think it looks kind of cool. It's very simple, very cool. I think I like it a lot. It's Ryoshu. I ultimately like it. Let's see. I like the middle brother Merceau as a 0-0 because of its passive, not necessarily its look. I never actually used Hookhoff's Fixer Honglu, now I'm looking at the list here. Fang Hunt Honglu is also cool as hell because of the reused on his coin. We even got like a finishing blow on a vampire on our Vampire Survivor string with a final hit for Honglu, which was very nice. Let's see who else. I guess that's it, honestly. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Kurokumo Clan Gregor. He's fucking amazing. I love how he uses the plot on his Q tree. So between all of these that I listed, I believe that my favorite 0-0 ID has to be Gregor. Kurokumo Captain Gregor. For my favorite 0-0 ID, however, since there is a lot of them, and some of them are, like people like to call it spiritually 0-0s, I'd have to look at the list again. Just give me a moment. Let's see our gift here. Gift options. Tango Bundle is very good. It's just extra damage. Faded Overcoat. We can't actually use it, so sorry. We don't actually need to replace any of his skills, although I already hit replace, huh? We don't have Lust, so Bloody Get isn't as useful. Lowest stars, we do have Pride Affinity. Let's enhance gifts actually, and yeah. Surface our Rusted Muzzle for peak bleed application, and this for more damage. Let's get Carmilla to max power so we can take a few unopposed. This one for infinite poise. I do love myself some infinite poise. Let's get there was a gift I wanted to get. Was not poise charge. Thinking rupture. It was a tier 4. I don't remember what it was. Let's go for Pierce. We don't use Tremor, so we don't use this. We already have ego generating gift, although this one's kind of better. This one, the stern. Yeah, we can sacrifice this one pretty easy, because this one is just a better version of this one. We have some pretty good. Let's go for this. And that's okay, I guess. That's good enough. That's good enough. Let's keep it going. Right, for 0-0 IDs, my favorite, I think I know what my favorite 0-0 ID is. Easy. Heathcliff Kurokumo. I absolutely adore using him because of the punishment, the use of a flashable counter as an actual powerful skill rather than just a power-up that you use every now and then. Hey, this is a pretty easy fight. So that is my favorite 0-0 ID, 0-0 ID, 0-0 ID is Kurokumo Heathcliff. Easy. It used to be Blade Lineage Merceau used to be my favorite, but since they released the Kurokumo one, he has unfortunately lost his post. So yeah. Because I'm already said that I'm a pretty big fan of running Kurokumo Clan. I like using Bleed a lot. It's my favorite status ailment. Although the one I least use is Sinking by comparison. And I like swords and katanas, and they offer it in spades for me, so it's very fun. It's a team, especially the entire Kurokumo thing is all about punishing you for actually winning a clash. Because we have debuffs aplenty, we have unbreakable coins, we have lots of bleed. And in general, it's just a fun thing. And since we have a Kurokumo Rhodia, we have access to Sanguine Desire, which essentially turns our bleed into Fairy from Library of Ruina, which is, quite damn good. Pretty damn good, I'd say. If you're not aware of what Fairy is from Library of Ruina, which, it's one of the debuffs, it's essentially Hyper Bleed, because you apply it to an enemy. Every time he does an action, he takes damage by the stacks of Fairy, and it does not decay. So it disappears after one turn, sure, but it does not decay per usage. So if you have like 10 bleed on a character, 10 fairy on a character, he's going to take 10 damage for every action that he does, regardless of what it is. So with Sanguine Desire here in Limbus, we can essentially turn bleed into that, because it does not decay the count of bleed once we use Sanguine Desire. It is on combat start, not even on combat on use. Which is pretty cool. I'd say it's pretty cool. I like the Yakuza. I like them. They're cool. I haven't played a Yakuza game, mind you. I just like them because the katana Japanese thing that I'm a confessed weeb, and I really don't have the time to play any Yakuza game because they would consume my life if I started playing them. Blast him! We have another blaster in the pocket. They didn't expect me to have my blaster. Oh, what's going on here? Ah, my nose, goddammit. Alright, sorry, I'm a little unfocused today. It has been a weird day for me because, let me tell you, like I said, I'm a teacher, and I teach at, I do remote work. So I teach from my house. And since I have to report every single class that I teach on the platform for my school, and for some reason today the platform was not working. We tried everything, restarting the router, restarting the PC, different browsers, cleaning browser cache, and all that stuff. Send help, ask for help for their IT department, and I couldn't access it. And if I cannot access the system for the school I work for, I don't get access to the links for the video calls I do with my students when I'm teaching them English. So it was a weird day because first I wouldn't be able to access in the first place, but every time it was about time to teach a student, they would send me a message saying, hey, I can't come today. And I'm like, okay, right, cool. And then next class, all right, I'm just gonna set up a quick Google Meet with them so I can actually teach them. And without fail, the student would say, hey, I can't show up today, sorry. So it was weird because I couldn't access the platform to do my job, and there was no students that would actually show up. So it was, why did I wake up earlier for? Because I do wake up quite early to teach my classes. So why did I wake up at all this early today if there's no students and I couldn't access the platform if I wanted to, but I still had to be present, you know. That's the problem with working at home, is that you don't skip work, you are present at all times. So even if the student skips class without warning you, they can't attend for whatever reason, I have to be here awake early in the morning. Sure, it's very nice to be working at home, but still you kind of build up the expectation and you're excited, just kind of eats you up. All right, we have rusty commemorative coin that we can't use, unfortunately. Why we can't use it? Because all of our skills are double coins. We do have some eagles, yes, but I'm not gonna count on that. Next one. I'm not gonna go for time killing time. I don't like it. Significant envy. Refresh. God damn it. The illusion of choice, right? You know what? No, screw you. I'm going whatever I want. I want to go for a long battle. We're going to fight Santa. We do have Pierce skills, and Pierce skills are good against the gnomes, the evil gnomes. So we're going to go here. And we're not going to put Gregor in the evil gnome crusher this time. Go, Ishmael. Do your thing. Thank you. Up to the next. The evil gnome crusher. Approach it. Who's gonna approach it? It's going to be Heathcliff. Alright, the Chud Sniper managed to get through the gnome crusher intact. Surprisingly. Off we go. Can't use height insulated shoes, although it would be very nice to have it. Can't use overuse whetstone. Can't use thorny path. What a shame. Give me more pierce gift. I'll try to get the pierce thing, the pierce achievement. We're out of money. All right, let's see. Here it is. Out of wrath and the damage affect the player with a sec. I can't use this at all. So let's fuse then into more pierce gifts. We are a pierce unit. We will benefit more from piercing. So let's take this, and turn into something better. Yeah. Can't use this. That's good enough for me. I don't have many healing eagles, but I think we're gonna be fine. Let's upgrade our defensive capabilities here. And I get upgraded twice, what a shame. Can't upgrade this, can't upgrade this, can't upgrade this. That's good enough. Let's go. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, my friends. Let me just remove my face from here. Oh yeah, let me give you some orders. Who's gonna attack first? Dodge, my boy. To go at some point, myself included. Right, where we left off. We are killing gnomes, that's right, and we are going to be reading a book after this, and I was talking about my weird ass day, that's right. So not only I couldn't do my job, no students showed up, which I guess was a blessing, even though I was going to use a Google, instant meeting to do my classes, still kind of felt kind of weird. It also comes from a very weird previous week. I assume it's the full moon because it was a full moon a few days ago, and well, whatever you're superstitious or not, I do believe the moon affects us in some way. It is the evil side of things. But let's get into the schizophrenic theories about the esoteric and the occult here. But the moon is evil. There we go. Blast his shit's move off. And get yourself a coin bonus, my dude. I like this idea because there's not a lot of escalation to his attacks, just enough that you can get use of him on the full team. Because you only get the maximum damage from fuck, I remember the gift that we wanted from tier 4. It was a tier 4 bleed gift that applies bleed to everyone, so we can get unjust enrichment right off the bat. Oh well. Since all our coins are true coins, except for evade, when we hit an enemy and we inflict bleed to them, the second hit instantly gains unjust enrichment. Unfortunately, the passive doesn't do anything other than, power up our skill tree, but it is what it is. Blast him! Wonder who are the sinners in LCB Mirror World since Rodi and Shmar should join the 3 set of LCB. That's a good question. We didn't get any more LCCBs after Ryoshu. Hours are unjust. Good enough. Blow his shit's move off. Actually, if you get kills with this, we... It's only on the It's again only on the second coin that we get a bonus damage, bonus coin. The only downside of only getting the plus coin on a kill is the fact that if you don't get it, if you're fighting a boss, you don't get access to your plus coin power. But no, it's a solid idea. I like it. There should have been more pirates, honestly. I'm surprised there isn't a Pirate Ishmael ID. That would be actually pretty fucking cool to have a Pirate Ishmael. I mean, she had to survive somewhere and she knows the lake, so it would be a natural fit for her. Blow his shit's move off. Delete this gnome. Now, those two things. Since we don't gain our plus coin power or only on kills on the second coin, this ID is not very good at bosses, but specifically they're very good at bosses that summon minions that you can kill. Because if you can kill a minion, well, you can get your bonuses. The problem is, I think you only gain the coin power if you use ammunition. No, it's on kill. Let's save a bullet for our good friend Santa. Santa deserves a little bullet as a gift. He's been such a good boy all year. Blast him! Ah! Didn't kill. What a shame. Missed the spot there. Blast him! Very nice. It is the Gregor that stole Christmas. I just realized that we are literally a pirate here to steal things. Very interesting. Kill that one. You probably stagger him. Save your skill too. Click, kill that one. We only have a bullet left. We're gonna save him for Santa. But honestly, I think we have something that will regenerate our bullet after, so it's not a problem. Goodbye. One blast destroyed. Welcome back, Acidic Trauma. We're being a little Grinch here. We're stealing Christmas. All right, we got 2 bullets back. Let's save that for Santa. So only skills 1 and 2 here. Unless we are literally forced to use them. But oh no, it was a pleasant day after all. I didn't have to work, and I did go to the supermarket to check up some things, but I feel like I'm forgetting something very important I have to do in real life. Maybe my taxes? I do have to pay taxes. I technically am a micro-entrepreneur, because here in Brazil I'm not working with, like, you know... What are you gonna do with the Eurodivs? Probably, it's probably one of the upcomings, honestly. Because I'm going by order of ID release, unless I have already done with that ID, which is quite a few of them. So it's probably coming up. Right now we are at Canto 4, no, Canto 5. So probably sooner than you expect. Gotta check which ID comes next and I haven't already covered. Because I'm only gonna do reruns once we have been through all of our IDs, you know? And specifically challenges as well. I do plan on doing a Mirror Dungeon Extreme this Thursday? think it's Thursday, yeah. Thursday with Ricardo Heathcliff, since, you know, he's coming out for people that have waited. And I do want to do a few more extreme mirror dungeons that I promised and have not delivered because of certain circumstances. I should probably write down that I have to do my tackle before it grows too late. I already have to pay a... Apologies. I already have to pay a fee because I am delivering my taxes late. So... Alright, Santa, you are going to get 1 bullet each for your sack. Oh yeah, I do need to do a Wild Hunt Heathcliff solo extreme because I want to get an achievement for it. There is an achievement for beating a beautiful voice with Heathcliff Wild Hunt. Well, although I don't have to do it solo, I will. Santa has been destroyed. And Wild Hunt Heathcliff is one of those IDs that he's killed up really quickly when he gets killed. So it's going to be really fun to solo with him. All right, that's Santa destroyed. That's another page for our book reading. 10 of them. Let's see. 4-leaf clover, fence level, or rusted cutting knife. I will take these two because we already have infinite poise. Lightning rod or grand welcome. I would take grand welcome. Maybe let him have his butlers. Nah, he's gonna do this shit solo. These are horrible choices for a character. God damn. Right, let's do a pack search. Because if we go any of those, he's going to simply up and die. You know what? I think it's time. I think it's time for him to face his. We already did. It kind of. I'm very. Every time I finish a dungeon by doing Long Santa and then Mobius too, it feels very Christian because we fight Santa and then we fight the representation of Jesus in the game. It's very Christian, very holy. It is a pirate. I'm gonna call this like they are. I'm gonna call this combo whenever I do Santata and forgot the name of this this creature. Garden of Roses, I think it is. Garden of Roses. I'm gonna call this the redemption combo because we are on a journey to meet God at the end, and it's always a solo ID that is doing this. All right, let's see what we got here. Refresh. Finifungality. Ooh, I like that. Finifungality is very nice. And I got wrist guards for that beautiful damage up. And we get this for protection as well. It just and this one as well for more damage and more damage and more damage and more damage. All right, on to the final boss. We are achieving redemption here. This pirate goes in a search for God and finds it, kills it by shooting it. Gregor's mad quest to kill God, I see. All right, we can dodge this if we want, and we shall. Don't want to get hit after all. Ah, the sloth rose. What do you do anyway? Dies. Then power up state inflicts more when hit next time and less staggered. Okay, got it. Which attack's gonna come first? That one. You got it, boss. Boss hog. This is gonna be a time trial to kill that thing because every turn we lose HP. No, I will not bear the weight of my sins. I will dodge them all. Observe. Right, which one comes first? That one. Targeting the middle. Got it. Just need more slots. Blast the rose. I should make this like the usual mirror dungeon run. Fight Santa, fight this, honestly, because how many times I've already done this. All right, Garden Kind of Roses. We have full clash. We have full power. We are just going to attack you now. Blast him! Blast him with your gun! Decent damage, considering he has resistance against every single sin type. Because, you know, he's a very funny boss. He's just weak to sloth. Flash Clash. Focus on the flash. Get some sloth damage in there. How about we don't do that, huh? Keep blasting him with sloth for now. Get that bleed nice up and high. The rose is back. The rose is gone. There we go. Fucking Waluigi sounds he makes. Before, will Linton Gregor AD be solo, or does he get to do the run with his butlers and maid? We already did Linton Gregor with his butlers and maid before, so I'm not going to be covering him. The Wild Hunt Heathcliff solo is going to be because of an achievement, because we also did the Wild Hunt Heathcliff before. We did Edgar Family and Wuthering Heights already. Maybe in the future we'll do Linton Gregor solo, because he's very good for solos, since he can gain coin power up on his skill tree. And if you replace all his skills, he just gets endless nightmare hunts, which is pretty damn nice if you ask me. All right, blast him. And then blast him again. Bang. Weak. Only weak because they were used to seeing much higher damage numbers. Goodbye. And that's it. He has conquered his karmic weight. The pirate has found religion. He has been absolved, and he's going to heaven, which is a hair salon. Unfortunately, we did have to bring some backup for that one fight, so we don't get a nice 100% here. But final thoughts about him. He is very good. Not as good as we are used to nowadays with the amount of buffs that some units get, but the ability to gain point power up on a kill with his second skill, and the way you have to, you know, kind of edge towards your skill tree to get the maximum effect of it is always fun. It's better than a mindless use of a skill tree, which is always how it should be. Skill tree should be something special. And it's very good. This is a very good ID. It's the only pirate ID that we have. And it benefits from ammo, so it is a very fun ID. It has evade, so it's able to, you know, evade on unfocused focused encounters. It's pure pierce, so very good for pierce builds as well. As most pierce builds seems to be very powerful in this game. This game has both games actually, Library of Ruin and this one, seem to have a focus on pierce. Pierce was very powerful in Library of Ruin as well, not just here. In any case, we have obtained 11 pages for our book reading, so let's just get some things out of the way first, my friends. If you are here today only for the gameplay, now's the time to leave, because we are going to be reading the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. as I announced before the stream, before the mirror dungeon has begun, every combat node that we completed was another page from the book that we were going to read here live today. And so we are going to start this in about a good moment. And we're going to drink a bit of water. So if you're going to leave now because you don't want to hear me yap about a book, I would just hit you with the spiel as usual. If you like the stream, please recommend it to your friends. And if you did not, recommend it to your enemies. And if you wish to give some support to the channel, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, follow on Twitch, follow me on Twitter as well, as I make my posts about random shit and what I'm going to stream there. As mostly I also post it on YouTube, so you get the announcement there. But for now, we are going to start reading the book. Let me get some water in me and we will start right away. All right, and hold on, let me find the book here on my computer. There it is. And book reading window. There we have it. Let's make sure the zoom is all right, so you can also read it. All right, last time on Gregor's Bizarre Adventure, he was transformed into a bug. In true German fashion, I think it's German, I'm not sure. He immediately thought about, shit, I'm gonna be late for work, which irritates me to no end. His family is asking if he's all right. His boss has come to check what's going on, because apparently bosses do that. They don't call you to just say, hey, hey, you are late. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you late? That's how I imagined the boss to be. And they're gonna start trying to open the door. And Gregor is unsure what to do. So we're going to be reading 11 pages today. That means we're going to be stopping at page 25 of the 77 long book, 77 pages long book. So without further ado, let's start. Mr. Sansa, the manager, was now shouting, his voice raised. What's the matter? You're barricading yourself in your room? Enter with only a yes and a no? Are making serious and unnecessary trouble for your parents? And neglecting, I mentioned this only incidentally, your commercial duties in a truly unheard of manner? I am speaking here in the name of your parents and your employer, and I am requesting you in all seriousness for an immediate and clear explanation. I am amazed. I am amazed. I thought I knew you as a calm, reasonable person, and now you appear suddenly to want to start parading around in weird moods? The chief indicated to me earlier this very day a possible explanation for your neglect. It concerned the collection of cash entrusted to you a short while ago, but in truth, I almost gave him my word of honor that this explanation could not be correct. However, now I see here your inimaginable pig-headedness, and I'm totally losing any desire to speak up for you in the slightest. And your position is not at all the most secure. Originally, I intended to mention all of this to you privately, but since you are letting me waste my time here uselessly, I don't want to know why the matter shouldn't come to the attention of your parents. Your productivity has also been very unsatisfactory recently. Of course, it's not the time of the year to conduct exceptional business, we recognize that, but a time of year for conducting no business, there is no such thing at all, Mr. Sansa, and such a thing must never be. But Mr. Manager, called Gregor beside himself, and in his agitation forgetting everything else. I'm opening the door immediately this very moment. Slight indisposition, a dizzy spell has prevented me from getting up. I'm still lying in bed right now, but now I'm quite refreshed once again. I'm in the midst of getting out of bed. Just have patience for a short moment. Things are not going so well as I thought, but things are all right. How suddenly this can overcome someone. Just yesterday evening, everything was fine with me. My parents certainly know that. Actually, just yesterday evening, I had a small premonition. People must have seen that in me. Why have I not reported that to the office? But people always think that they get over sickness without having to stay at home. Mr. Manager, take it easy on my parents. There is really no basis for the criticism which you are now making against me. Nobody has said a word to me about that. Perhaps you have not read the latest orders which I shipped? Besides, now I'm setting out my trip on the 8 o'clock train. The few hours rest have made me stronger. Mr. Manager, do not stay. I will be in the office in person right away. Please, have the goodness to say that that and to convey my respects to the chief. While Gregor was quickly blurting all this out, hardly aware of what he was saying, he had moved close to the chest of drawers without effort, probably as a result of the practice he had already had in bed, and now he was trying to raise himself up on it. Actually, he wanted to open the door. He really wanted to let himself be seen by and to speak with the manager. He was keen to witness that the others now asking after him would say at the sight of him. If they were startled, then Gregor had no more responsibility and could be calm. But if they accepted everything quietly, then he would have no reason to get excited. And if he got a move on, could really be at the station around 8 o'clock. At first, he slipped down a few times from the smooth chest of drawers, but at last he gave himself a final swing and stood upright there. He was no longer at all aware of the pains in his lower body, no matter how they might still sting. Now, he let himself fall against the back of a nearby chair, and on the edge of which he braced himself with his thin limbs. By doing this, he gained control over himself and kept quiet, for he could now hear the manager. "Did you understand this isn't a single word?" the manager asked the parents. "Is he playing the fool with us?" "For God's sakes," cried the mother, already in tears. "Perhaps he's very ill and we're upsetting him. Grete, she yelled at that point. "Mother," called a sister from the other side. They were making themselves understood through Gregor's room. You must go to the doctor right away. Gregor is sick. Hurry to the doctor. Have you heard Gregor speak yet?" That was an animal's fault," said the manager, remarkably quiet in comparison to the mother's cries. Yelled the father through the hall into the kitchen, clapping his hands. "Back to locksmith right away." The two young women were already running through the hall with swishing skirts. How had his sister dressed herself so quickly? And yanked open the doors of the apartment. One couldn't hear the doors closing at all. They probably had left them open, as is customary in an apartment in which a huge misfortune has taken place. However, Gregor had become much calmer. Alright, people did not understand his words anymore, although they seemed clear enough to him, clearer than previously, perhaps because his ears had gotten used to them. But at least people now thought that things were not alright with him and were prepared to help him. The confidence and assurance which the first arrangements had been carried out made him feel good. He felt himself included once again in the circle of humanity and was expecting from both the doctor and the locksmith, without differentiating between them with any real precision, splendid and surprising results. In order to get as clear a voice as possible for the critical conversation, which was imminent, he coughed a little and certainly took the trouble to do this in a really subdued way, since it was possible that even this noise sounded like something different from a human cough. He no longer trusted himself to decide anymore. Meanwhile, in the next room, it had become really quiet. Perhaps his parents were sitting with the manager at the table and were whispering. Perhaps they were all leaning against the door and listening. Gregor pushed himself slowly towards the door, with the help of the easy chair. Let go of it there, threw himself against the door, held himself upright against it. The balls of his tiny limbs had a little sticky stuff on them, and rested there momentarily from his exertion. Then he made an effort to turn the key in the lock with his mouth. Unfortunately, it seemed that he had no real teeth. How then was he to grab hold of the key? But to make up for that, his jaws were naturally very strong. With their help, he managed to get the key really moving. And he did not notice that he was obviously inflicting some damage on himself, for a brown fluid came out of his mouth, flowed over the key, and dripped onto the floor. "Just listen for a moment," said the manager in the next room. "He's turning the key." For Gregor, that was a great encouragement, but they all should have called out to him, including his father and mother. "Come on, Gregor," they should have shouted. "Keep going, keep working on the lock." Imagining that all his efforts were being followed with suspense, he bit down frantically on the key with all the force he could muster. As the key turned more, he danced around the lock. Now, he was holding himself upright only with his mouth, and he had to hang on to the key or then press it down again with the whole weight of his body, as necessary. The quite distinct click of the lock as it finally snapped really woke Gregor up. Breathing heavily, he said to himself, "So, I didn't need the locksmith," and he set his head against the door handle to open the door completely. Because he had to open the door in this way, it was already opened very wide without him yet being really visible. He first had to turn himself slowly around the edge of the door, very carefully of course, if he did not want to fall awkwardly on his back right at the entrance into the room. He was still preoccupied with the difficult movement and had no time to pay attention to anything else, when he heard the manager exclaim aloud, "Oh!" It sounded like the wind whistling. Well, yeah, the wind sounds like that, by the way. And now he saw him, nearest to the door, pressing his hand against his open mouth and moving slowly back, as if an invisible constant force was pushing him away. His mother, in spite of the presence of the manager, she was standing here with her hair sticking up on end, still a mess from the night, with her hands clasped, was looking at his father. She then went 2 steps forward towards Gregor and collapsed right in the middle of her skirts, spreading out all around her, her face sunk on her breast, completely concealed. His father clenched his fist with a hostile expression, as if he wished to push Gregor back into his room, then looked uncertainly around the living room, covered his eyes with his hands, and cried so that his mighty breast shook. At this point, Gregor did not take 1 step into the room, but leaned his body from the side against the firmly bolted wing of the door, so that only half of his body was visible, as well as his head, tilted sideways, with which he peeped over at the others. Meanwhile, it had become much brighter. Standing out clearly from the other side of the street was a part of the endless gray-black house situated opposite. It was a hospital, with its severe regular windows breaking up the facade. The rain was still coming down, but only in large individual drops, visibly and firmly thrown down one by one onto the ground. The breakfast dishes were standing piled around on the table, because for his father breakfast was the most important meal in the day, which he prolonged for hours by reading various newspapers. Directly across on the opposite wall hung a photograph of Gregor from the time of his military service. It was a picture of him as a lieutenant, as he, smiling and worry-free, with his hand on his sword, demanded respect for his bearing and uniform. The door to the hall was ajar, and since the door to the apartment was also open, one saw out into the landing of the apartment, and the start of the staircase going down. "Now," said Gregor, well aware that he was the only one who had kept up his composure, "I'll get dressed right away, pack up the collection of samples, and set off. You'll allow me to set out on my way, will you not? You see, Mr. Manager, I am not pig-headed. I'm happy to work. Traveling is exhausting, but I couldn't live without it. Where are you going, Mr. Manager? To the office? Really? Will you report everything truthfully? Person can be incapable of work momentarily, but that is precisely the best time to remember the early achievements and to consider that later, after the obstacle have been shoved aside, the person will work all the more keenly and intensely. I am really so indebted to you, Mr. Chief, and know that perfectly well. On the other hand, I am concerned about my parents and my sister. I'm in a fix, but I'll work myself out of it again. Don't make things more difficult for me than they already are. Speak up on my behalf in the office. People don't like traveling salesmen, I know that. People think they earn pots of money and thus lead a fine life. People don't even have any special reason to think through this judgment more clearly. But you, Mr. Manager, you have a better perspective on the interconnections that the people, even I, tell you in total confidence. A better perspective than Mr. Chairman himself, who in his capacity as the employer may let his judgment make casual mistakes at the expense of an employee. You also know well enough that the traveling salesman who is outside of the office almost the entire year can become so easily a victim of gossip, coincidences, and groundless complaints against which it's impossible for him to defend himself, since for the most part he doesn't hear about them at all, and only then when he's exhausted after finishing a trip and gets to feel in his own body at home the nasty consequences which can't be thoroughly explored back to their origins, Mr. Manager. Don't leave without speaking a word, telling me that you at least consider I'm a little in the right. But at Gregor's first words, the manager had already turned away, and now he looked back at Gregor over his twitching shoulders with pursed lips. During Gregor's speech, he was not still for a moment, but was moving away towards the door, without taking his eyes off Gregor, but really gradually, as if there was a secret ban on leaving the room. He was already in the hall, and after the sudden movement with which he finally pulled his foot out of the living room, one could have believed that he had just burned the sole of his foot. In the hall, however, he stretched out his right hand away from his body towards the staircase, as if some truly supernatural relief was waiting for him there. Gregor realized that he must not, under any circumstances, allow the manager to go away in this frame of mind, especially if his position in the firm was not to be placed in the greatest danger. His parents did not understand all this very well. Over the long years, they had developed the conviction that Gregor was set up for life in his firm, and, in addition, they had so much to do nowadays with their present troubles that all foresight was foreign to them. But Gregor had this foresight. The manager must be held back, calmed down, convinced, and finally won over. The future of Gregor and his family really depended on it. If only the sister had been there. She was clever. She had already cried while Gregor was still lying quietly on his back. And the manager, this friend of the ladies, would certainly let himself be guided by her. She would have closed the door to the apartment and talked him out of his fright in the hall. But the sister was not even there. Gregor must deal with it himself. Without thinking that, as yet we didn't know anything about his present ability to move, and without thinking that his speech possibly, indeed probably, had once again not been understood, he left the wing of the door, pushed himself through the opening, and wanted to go over to the manager, who was already holding tight onto their handrail with both hands on the landing in a ridiculous way. But as he looked for something to hold on to, with a small scream, Gregor immediately fell down onto his numerous little legs. Scarcely had this happened when he felt for the first time that morning a general physical well-being. The small limbs had a firm floor under them. They obeyed perfectly, as he noticed to his joy, and strove to carry him forward in the direction he wanted. Right away, he believed that the final amelioration of all of his suffering was immediately at hand. But at that very moment, when he lay on the floor, rocking in a restrained manner, quite close and directly across from his mother, apparently totally sunk into herself, she suddenly sprang right up, with her arms spread far apart and her fingers extended, and cried out, "For God's sakes, help!" She held her head bowed down as if she wanted to view Gregor better, but ran senselessly back, contradicting that gesture, forgetting that behind her stood the table with all the dishes on it. When she reached the table, she sat down heavily on it, as if absent-mindedly, and did not appear to notice at all that next to her coffee was pouring out onto the carpet in a full stream from the large overturned container. Mother, said Gregor quietly, and looked over towards her. The manager momentarily had disappeared completely from his mind. By contrast, at the sight of the flowing coffee, he couldn't stop himself snapping his jaws in the air a few times. And at that, his mother screamed all over again, hurried from the table, and collapsed into the arms of his father, who was rushing towards her. But Gregor had no time right now for his parents. The manager was already on the staircase. His chin level with the banister, the manager looked back for the last time. Gregor took an initial movement to catch up to him if possible, but the manager must have suspected something, because he made a leap down over a few stairs and disappeared, still shouting, "Huh!" Sound echoed through the entire stairway. Now, unfortunately, this flight of the manager also seemed to completely bewilder his father, who early had been relatively calm. For instead of running after the manager himself, or at least not hindering Gregor from his pursuit, with his right hand he grabbed hold of the manager's cane, which he had left behind, with his hat and overcoat on a chair. With his left hand, his father picked up a large newspaper from the table, and stamping his feet on the floor, he set out to drive Gregor back into his room by waving the cane and the newspaper. No request of Gregor was of any use. No request would even be understood. No matter how willing he was to turn his head respectfully, his father just stomped all the harder with his feet. 1 second. Across the room from him, his mother had pulled open a window, and in spite of the cool weather, and leaning out with her hands on her cheek, she pushed her face far outside the window. Between the alley and the stairwell, a strong draught came up. The curtains of the window flew around. The newspaper on the table swished, and individual sheets fluttered down over the floor. The father relentlessly pressed forward, pushing out sibilants like a wild man. Now Gregor had no practice at all in going backwards. It was really going very slowly. If Gregor only had been allowed to turn himself around, he would have been in his room right away, but he was afraid to make his father impatient by the time-consuming process of turning around. and each moment he faced the threat of a mortal blow on his back or his head from the cane in his father's hand. Finally, Gregor had no other option, for he noticed with horror that he did not understand yet how to maintain his direction going backwards, and so he began, amid constantly anxious sideways glances in his father's direction, to turn himself around as quickly as possible, although in truth this was only very slowly. Perhaps his father noticed his good intentions, for he did not disrupt Gregor in his motion, but with the tip of the cane from a distance he even directed here and there Gregor's rotating movement. We are going to stop here. We are at page 25 as promised. We are going to continue it tomorrow after our stream. So, again, this book infuriates me because, they don't even try communicating. They go straight for hitting him with the thing. I guess you could say that a lot of people would do that as well if someone turned into a giant bug. But granted that Gregor was the only person in the room and he was clearly trying to communicate, or at least wasn't hostile, it infuriates me to no end that they straight up went for violence there. And, mistreating their son and all of that stuff. Well, in any case, we have finished with our Mirror Dungeon finish and our ID stud and Mirror Dungeon book reading finish. I would like to thank you all so much for sticking around and watching today's stream. If you enjoyed it, please recommend it to your friends. And if you didn't, well, please recommend it to your enemies. Now, if you wish to give some support to the channel, please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe on YouTube, a follow on Twitch, or a follow on Twitter, the accursed bird app. With all that said, thank you all very much, and till next time, sweet kisses and goodbye.